So there is a new movie coming out that is probably the most hated movie ever. Honestly, I think so. The backlash that has been sent toward it has been insane. I think it has 1 million dislikes and it just keeps on increasing as it goes down. Let's take a look at it. Snow White. 8.1 million views a month ago. 40k likes. Look at that bar. Okay, come on, guys. Look at that bar. Oh my god, that bar is low. That bar is low. Oh my god, look at that. Jesus. Jesus. 1 million dislikes. Jesus.
If you want the thing you love,
you did it! Congratulations!
I think Disney has outdone themselves, definitely. I think that there's a peak low you can hit. I think Disney has definitely done it. We had that with Sony, with Concord and gaming. And I think that Disney's going to do that now with Snow White in movie, in the entertainment industry.
Great job, everybody. It's great to meet you.
Look at that.
You know, I have to admit that I didn't think it was possible. The skeptic in me said it could never be done, and yet somehow Snow White always finds a way to subvert my expectations. That's right, just a couple of days ago, the official's trailer for Snow White passed the epic milestone of 1 million dislikes.
1 million.
And with a grand total of 40,000 upvotes, that gives it a ratio of 96% dislikes, becoming officially the most hated movie trailer in all of YouTube history.
It's actually, I'm not even mad. That's amazing.
That is an achievement they deserve.
I mean, they always said this movie was going to break records, and life has a funny way of delivering when you least expect it. Honestly, I'm actually just amazed that 40,000 people...
And these fucking dwarf look so uncanny weird. Like, you know those videos where they use AI to generate videos? This kind of gives me that kind of idea. And the worst is that this is probably there's a lot of work into this, but it still looks so weird.
40,000 people took a look at this and thought to themselves, yeah, this is definitely enriching the art of modern cinema. Can't wait to shell out a couple of $100 to see this with the family.
Nice.
Tell me, what aspect of this movie are you most excited about?
None.
Is it the nightmarish
Not watching it.
monstrosities in vaguely...
Actually, you know what I'm excited for? Nobody will probably ask me to watch this, so I don't have to go to this theater to watch this.
Humanoid form that can't seem to decide.
At least the evil queen looks good. She looks good, but I don't think the actor is a good actor at all. I feel like it's the same kind of like behavior every single time. She just doesn't say much and says some quick words and looks pretty like direct at you with no emotions, and that's pretty much it.
Stylized, exaggerated cartoons or photorealistic humans with dwarfism, and instead chose some unholy melding of the two that makes you question your decision to have functioning eyeballs.
There's another thing is that I feel like in some way, this is another issue I noticed about. I think also the evil queen has this. A lot of these costumes, that gives me the vibe of they're cosplayers. I don't feel like they look like they're fitting for the role in any sort of way. They feel like cosplayers mostly.
The tediously predictable princess who saves herself trope that's been used and abused harder than Movie Bob's local buffet restaurant? Is it the least believable pairing in cinema history that sees this woman being jealous of this woman's theoretical beauty? Is it the film's star who somehow managed to fight her way to the very top to take the crown as the most insufferable actor in Hollywood, beating off some pretty stiff competition, I might add?
Yes.
Yes.
Or is it perhaps the complete destruction of everything the original movie and the fairy tale it was based on was supposed to represent? So many decisions. You know, living in this little YouTube bubble like we do, it's easy to forget that a lot of what we talk about here doesn't really cross over into mainstream awareness. The Ray movies ditched its lead writer for like the 5th time? Who cares? General audiences won't even be aware of little dramas like that. Generic Hollywood celebrity number 4271 had a meltdown on social media about the Orange Man for like the 5th time this week.
Man, that's crazy. Dude, the fucking Orange Man. I wonder how, like, this guy we're going to be talking about a lot. Yeah, a lot of Americans are not happy about that.
So what? Most people in the real world won't know or care about any of it. But Snow White seems to be a very different beast. It might just be one of those rare cases that makes the leap from lolcow internet drama into the real world with actual...
The thing is that when it comes to American politics, that's just a worry America has to deal with. But when it comes to Disney creating dog shit, now this is something we can all band together in the world, and we can collectively hate, and we can agree upon that it is dog shit.
real world repercussions at the box office. I mean, if 1 million people took a look at that YouTube trailer and decided they hated it, imagine how many millions more are just going to quietly ignore the film and never watch it. I'll be honest here, I don't think I've ever seen such antagonism towards a film in my life. Jesus, even the Marvels, arguably the most disastrous flop in MCU history, headed up by one of the most wildly unpopular characters in the entire franchise, still managed to scrape together a 54% positive rating on the...
Yeah, but the thing is that this positive rating is because there's a lot of, like, I'm not saying all of it, but a lot of it is also because Marvel has created a good reputation. They have built a reputation in a fandom, so they will try to push like positivity in many things. And it's like, you know, like whenever people are putting there's a foundation where people are building up like a reputation and they got good boy points. And the more they do well, the more good boy points they do get. But as they do digress and get worse and worse, the more of those good boy points they have to spend. The thing is that Marvel really hasn't had that many fuck ups or bad series or movies in itself. They had some mid stuff, but they haven't had a lot of horrible things. So generally, the view on Marvel has been pretty popular and nice, and that's why you will see this this ratio in itself.
Trailer, even Cleopatra, truly the...
This is insulting. That like this shit was insulting for both the Greek and the Egyptian. Like, this was wild.
Worst of the worst. The ridiculous Netflix pseudo-documentary that asked us to ignore facts, verified historical records, and simple common sense.
Yeah, this became, I think this became national news in both Egypt and in Greek, how disrespectful this was, because they tried to make this historical accurate. Which was they tried to Netflix tried to put this as historical accurate, and it made it seem like they're trying to basically eradicate or change history. I think the word people used was I mean, this is obviously about race, but it also has to do with other things as well. Yeah, it's pretty much historical revisions. Yeah, it is, and people don't want that. Like, history is history. You don't change history.
Favor of massaging the ego of the show's executive producer.
I remember my grandmother saying to me, I don't care what they tell you in school, Cleopatra was black.
Yeah, because your grandmother was probably over 3,000 years old, right? That's amazing. Of course she knew that. No, Cleopatra was a Greek woman. She was very much white.
You don't know what you're talking about, do you?
Still managed to get away with a meager 93% dislike
rate. And
this
is another thing. A lot of people think people in Egypt are like also like darker skin. They're all white. Nearly. Majority of them are like white or tan. Like, have you, the same goes with Arab, like people from Arabic countries. Like, I have barely met any from Iraq that are like darker skin compared to white. And I have a lot of relatives in that direction.
Yo, Snow White really is a next level disaster for Disney, and honestly, short of scrapping the entire project and just taking the tax write-off.
And there were black pharaohs in Egypt, there were Nubian dynasties, of course. I think that that's the problem with this discussion, is that we're trying to ignore where they were and change where they weren't. And I think that is more disrespectful toward both counterparts. I've seen also this from like, I've seen this on TikTok. A lot on that side, like a lot of colored individual in America are getting tired of this washing itself, because it creates just it in many ways it feels like they are trying to spew disagreements between each other and hate, and it's just tiresome, I think, for anyone. Like, nobody want to have this discussion. Like, at least about not about trying to change history in itself. I think that anybody thinks that all of this discussion about race is getting a little bit ridiculous and kind of tiresome. We kind of want to move away from that now. Like, I think that in the end of the day, everybody's a human, and I think that the more we sit here and argue about this shit, the more it becomes literally racist.
Can't even think of a way they could pull this one back and save face.
Just in the middle of watching. We're watching the new Snow White movie, is the most hated movie ever, and highest disliked movie on YouTube for like it's the first the movie trailer on YouTube that got 1 million dislikes. Pretty big thing.
By more than a year, probably praying that the controversies would die down while they desperately scramble to rewrite and reshoot it into something that doesn't make the audience want to gouge their own eyes out with a rusty spoon. They put Rachel Zegler on the apology tour to try and soften her public image, and she used every ounce.
Her image is completely ruined. I don't know who's gonna hire her for movies in the future. I think her reputation is destroyed.
Of her acting ability to pretend that she really liked and respected the original movie, and that she wasn't just an obnoxious, abrasive, self-absorbed arsehole. None of it worked, and so here we are, staring down the barrel of Snow White's release date, which is barely 7 weeks away.
That's crazy.
The board's been set, the pieces are in place, and it's about time to play the game. And something tells me it's...
I think that Disney just has to cut their loss. They release it, they're gonna lose a fuck ton of money. There's nothing to do about it. They just gotta move away from this whole idea they try to do here, and they got to take accountability to their actors whenever they pop off in public, because she just kind of popped off too much and has ruined their whole reputation. Now, she's not single-handedly did it, but she's the most talked about.
Not going to be an enjoyable one for Disney. It will be for us, though.
It's Hollywood, baby.
Anyway, that's all I've got for today.
Fuck off.
Go away now.
I like this guy. I forgot how this guy fucking ends his videos. Yeah, I'm gonna leave now. Yeah, I think that in the end of the day, man, I think Disney just fucked up. It is what it is. You losing the money, everybody's gonna laugh, haha. But how are you gonna recover? Are you gonna keep releasing slops? Are you gonna take accountability and start correcting this and making sure that your actor doesn't pop off like she did? We'll see about that. I mean, that's on you. You're the one losing money. I'm not going to watch this shit. I'm not even going to pirate it. When it's a movie or series is so bad, you wouldn't even pirate it. Then I got to say, you have fucked up. All right. And I think a lot of people share that view. But tell me down below what you think. Like this video if you enjoyed. Sub to the channel if you want to watch more. And if you want to app with me live, you're free to come by my Twitch channel on twitch.tv/attilleegames. Appreciate y'all watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one, all. Peace.